and welcome back to Let's Play Live Alive. Last time, things rapidly took a turn for the worse on the Cogito Ergo Sum. Kirk is dead, Rachel has gone crazy, and if things weren't bad enough, the behemoth has been let loose. We have no choice but to let everybody know about this. This is not a situation that can just be left alone. I think Darth is the most important person to let know about this. He is the military man, after all.
What do you mean, the behemoth is loose? Damn it! Are you all right? Oh, thank goodness. No damage as far as I can see. Okay. Now, look me in the eyes and listen very carefully to what I have to say. We were all there in the medbay. We all saw Kirk. We all saw him on that bed and saw the system pronounce him dead. Okay? You remember that, don't you? I know it's hard to accept, but he's gone. No matter how much you may want to believe otherwise, that's the truth. You can take it from here, I trust. I need to check the cargo hold. Corporal? Thank you. We've had enough death for one day.
Darth here. The Clank was right. The container is empty. And to make matters worse, the specimen appears to have escaped the cargo hold. There's no telling where it's got to. Keep your eyes peeled and be prepared to run. Let's regroup at the elevator near you and head to the upper levels.
I'm sorry. I suppose I couldn't accept it. It's just... it was all so sudden. One minute he was here, and then...
Well, that got out of hand pretty quickly, but fortunately, Darth was actually able to defuse the situation. And surprisingly emphatically at that. Perhaps there's more to them than meets the eye. Right now, though, I think everybody could use a little bit to unwind. First, though, let's get everybody's thoughts on the current situation. The news of the behemoth escaping is definitely not something that's going to keep everybody off the edge. Huey is a little strong and silent. Ditto for Cato. Cato showed some amazing resilience there by grabbing Cube and not getting sucked out the airlock. Definitely not an easy thing to achieve. Let's be certain of that. Wonder if he's got magnetic boots on. We'll figure out a way to catch it soon enough. That beast will be back in its cage long before we land. You'll see. Sounds surprisingly confident, Corporal. I'm sorry. I think, I suppose I couldn't accept it. It's all so sudden. One minute he was here, and then... I think everybody could use a little bit of coffee to unwind. Gotta say, Cube is getting surprisingly decent at that. Here you go, Cato. Thank you, little one. It's getting to be a bit much, isn't it? I'm sorry about all of this, little one. I was hoping your first few days would be more enjoyable, that you'd get to see us at our best. It's okay, Kato. I don't think anybody could have predicted this would have happened. Next up, we gotta get to Huey to take a little bit in. Hopefully he likes this one better than the first one we made. Alright, here you go, Huey. Oh. Thanks for the drink, Cube.
How did it all go so wrong? What happened to us? Or maybe this is who we always were.
Hey, if you have the ability to think about it like that, Huey, you're still a little put together. Next up, I kinda doubt Darth will want one, but just to be kind. Huh? No thank you. Yeah, I kinda expected that, but I think more than anyone, Rachel could use a drink. Can't promise an Irish one, but perhaps it'll remind you of Kirk a little bit. Keep that memory alive.
Thank you. You've always been so kind to me.
Hello, hello, this is the captain. Everyone is doing well, I hope.
You are aware that a behemoth is currently prowling your decks, aren't you?
What? Really? That's most unfortunate.
Are you joking? It's a bloody catastrophe is what it is! How long do you intend to keep huddling in your quarters instead of coming out and taking charge of this situation?
What? Really? That's most unfortunate. What? Really? That's most unfortunate.
The behemoth's still out there. And so is Kirk. I can't let that thing hurt him.
Rachel! Oh, no, you don't. Or are you that eager to die?
But Rachel and Huey, they...
Well, unfortunately for us, Rachel and Huey readily demonstrating the hardest part really is letting go.
I'm sorry. But I can't just abandon them.
Well, we can't leave them to their fate either. Let's go after them. But where could they possibly have gone to? Well, fortunately, the flags are pointing us along the way. Is it just me, or is that... That mark wasn't on the floor before. Was it?
Huey.
Rachel. Is Rachel okay?
She's all right. You don't need to worry about her. What were you thinking? Running after her like that. And now... this.
It's okay, Gato. It's okay. I didn't really have a choice, I think. Even now, after everything, I love... Rachel's still alive. We need to move quickly.
Yes, of course. We should take her back to the pods. Put her in cryo for now. She'll be safe there. little one. I have a very important mission for you. I need you to head to the interface room right away and speak with Decimus. We need emergency access to the captain's quarters. I realize I'm asking you to put yourself at even greater risk in what is already a terrible situation. But there is no one else, little one. Only you. Everything will be all right. I have to believe that. We'll get through this and make it back home together.
Right, let's move.
Well, 2 down. Fortunately, Rachel is hanging in there. Barely. But we have to move quickly, because, oh dear. Yeah, that's definitely not something we want to see. If you run into the behemoth, again, just to reiterate, game over, so be cautious. Hopefully Kato and Darth can evade that thing effectively. Now, let's interact with Decimus, see if we can't figure something out. Request received for emergency access code for the captain's quarters. Processing. Request approved. Generating override code. OAK FDE. Alright. Now, is the behemoth going to be waiting for us out here? Doesn't look like it, but let's tread a little carefully. It is easy to be... Oh, there it comes. Oh dear. Let's get into here. Oh boy. Alright.
Thank heavens you're okay. Yes. This should suffice.
Enough talk. It's time we put an end to this charade.
Corporal, you don't really think... I know the captain's been behaving strangely, but to hurt his own people... It's just that... it beggars belief.
Then who do you think is responsible? Me?
No. Of course not.
Regardless, your captain has a lot to answer for.
Well, here goes nothing. It won't budge.
We don't have time for this! Just force the bloody thing open!
Don't worry. I came prepared. I thought it might come to this. Here, little one. Hold on to this for me.
And with that, we've got the powered pry bar. This will be a very important tool for us in the very near future. This item can be used to force open doors until its battery pack is drained. Sealed doors and hatches may be forced open with the powered pry bar. However, be warned, may only be used a limited number of times. Remember how that gate came crashing down when the behemoth was chasing us when we were trying to get to Darth and Kato? If we had the powered pry bar, we could have, well, pried it open. But we get a limited number of usages, so try not to let yourself get cornered if the battery runs dry. With that taken care of, let's get into the captain's room and find out what exactly he's up to. What is going on here?
Captain!
I thought so. The only ones still up and moving on this ship are you and me. No more games, Cato.
What in blazes are you on about?
How long do you intend to play the fool? You killed him. This is all your doing.
That's ridiculous. For all I know, it could have been you.
Me? I'm just a passenger. I have no connections to you people, no motive. But in my short time here, I've seen the tension, smelled the bad blood. I don't know what drove you to it, but I'm not surprised.
It wasn't me, damn it! It wasn't me! Just shut up! You don't know me! You don't know anything about us! We didn't always get along, I'll admit. I'd be hard-pressed to call us friends, even. I doubt I would have exchanged 2 words with Kirk or Rachel if we'd met anywhere else. We're just too different. But even so, I didn't hate them. And they didn't hate me. I know that much. None of us. Not me, or the captain, or Huey. We're not murderers. We're all just stuck in our heads. Too caught up in our own worries to notice when others are hurting. Unable to see beyond our own wants and wounds. Beyond the life we wish we had and think we deserve. We're just people.
Well, how long has the captain been dead exactly? Possibly as long as Cube has been alive, so to speak. In the center of his private quarters, the captain lies perfectly still. Judging from the color of his skin, it has likely been some time since he breathed his last. Let's at least look around, see if we can't find anything in this room. Let's see, the terminal has been turned off. A thin layer of dust covers the keyboard. Interesting. This photo frame has Terran horses running free in the wild. Got, of course, the wellness bed. Anything in his locker? Let's see. Insufficient data for analysis in active memory. Cross-referencing archived resources. A simple harness developed by humans to more than comfortably ride horses and other Terran animals. Looks like the captain had a thing for horses. Not like that, not like that. Electronic pipe with a dead battery lies on the counter. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the captain's been dead for quite some time. This does not concern you, Clank. Cato shudders, his hands balled into fists as tears stream down his face. I can see the pressure is definitely getting to Cato at this point. Well, nothing left to do in this room, so let's go take a look outside and see what's going on. With that, we are given some direction by the orange flag of destiny. What's this? This unit is reserved for charter guests. A distress call has been received from this room. Unable to confirm status of occupant at this time. Lifting access restrictions to allow crew to render aid as necessary. To proceed, please input your name. Once again, we just have to enter Cube's name, and that will do it for us. Profile confirmed. You've been granted access. It's a good thing that Cato made his first order of business to get us set up here. Alright, so what do we got in here? Let's see. No images currently displayed. Unsurprising. Terminal has been turned off. What about this this private node here? Private correspondence. Order addendum. Operation TY-580905. Regarding xenobiological specimen secured in deep space. To reiterate, constant monitoring of specimen during transport is strongly advised. However, in the event containment is breached and specimen comes into contact with crew, revised orders are as follows. Observe and record specimen activity. Detailed study of specimen remains highest priority. All necessary measures should be taken to ensure delivery. Be advised that total loss of crew is considered within acceptable parameters. TDF Special Operations Command. Well, despite his rather bold posturing there, it looks like Darth was in fact hiding something. Alright, let's move quickly but cautiously. Fortunately, no behemoth. Let's make our way in here, and let's see what Kato thinks of the special orders that Darth had.
What did you say? Orders? What orders? Of course. It all makes sense now. I knew you were up to something. Why else would the military bother chartering a civilian transport? This was your plan all along!
Went snooping in my room, did you? I was right about you, Clank. You're all the same.
All this to study your precious specimen. Every death, another data point.
Those orders, Kato, were in the event of a worst-case scenario. What now?
It was you! You killed them! You killed them all, you monster! Run, little one! Don't let him catch you! Look out!
Well, we get our first opportunity to use the powered pry bar. Let's use this and just get this open. Unfortunately, we had to leave Kato behind with Darth. Not exactly a good omen for Kato, but we aren't really left with much choice. Let's just quickly make our way into an elevator and get the heck out of here. Let's see, I don't care where you take me. Take me to level 3, take me to level 1, just take me away from here. We'll have to try and reconvene with Kato, though. We can't just leave him with Darth. All signs point to him having something to do with this. Then again, it doesn't really make sense for him to go about killing everyone. It's not like anybody had proven to be an active threat to his mission up to this point. Well, we seem to have a bit of a problem here. Trying to go that way is just going to get us nowhere. So let's pry this open and see if we can find an alternative route. Or perhaps... Ah, sweet. Opening that up actually stopped the flow of that acid or whatever it was. If you walked into that junk, you would indeed just be completely scrapped. Alright. This should allow us to get on the other side of the behemoth, so let's pop our way down to level 2 once again and see if we can't catch up with Kato and hopefully prevent the worst from befalling him. But again, oh, nope, not to level 2. Fortunately, the Diamond of Destiny is telling me, no, you don't want to go this way, you want to go to level 1. I'll oblige it. Alright, dropping down to level 1. Hopefully the behemoth is keeping its location on level 2. And, no, it has come back down here. Let's now go back to level 2. Yeah, sometimes these sequence triggers can be a little silly for this chapter, and when you're playing the SFC version where you're not actively being directed where to go, this part of the game can be a little bit confusing. Fortunately, if you just wander around enough, eventually you'll get to where you need to be. What the heck was that? That's a... Well, I don't like the look of that.
What the? So there's 2 of you. An imposter! I bet you're the one who turned off Rachel's pod. I should have slagged you both the moment I walked in the door.
Wait. Don't. My little one would never hurt anyone. You can't be sure that's not...
Alright, what can we do to defuse this situation?
My little one. The life I brought into this world. The real you would remember. Remember that first terrible name I almost gave you. Wouldn't you?
Alright, so this is actually where the HD version offers you offers you a small bone, throws you a small bone, should I say. In the SFC version, you just had to recall what the name was. So if you happen to forget it, which I'll admit it's kind of hard to forget it, especially because it's pretty distinct in that version, or at least AGTP's translation, well, you'd be kind of hosed here. But that's not a problem in this version, where you can review the memory banks just to get the answer, completely bypassing the puzzle. But if you remember, it was roundy, so let's just put that in.
Gotcha!
It would be in your best interest to stop. This ship is my domain, and I its master. You will live, or you will die at my pleasure.
So, this is our murderer's puppet. Who are you?
Designation OD10 of the Cogito Ergo Sum.
Kato, you know what it was talking about? Who's OD10?
OD10 is Decimus, the AI that manages everything on the Cogito Ergo Sum.
Stay with me, Kato. The control AI, you said. Someone must be trying to hijack your ship, then.
No. That's not possible. It's a completely isolated, self-contained system. I can't even apply an update unless we bring it in for maintenance.
So, what are you saying? That the AI itself has lost its mind?
I have no idea. But in light of everything, we have to consider the possibility.
If you're right, then you and me and everyone else, we've all been dancing to that mad machine's tune. The main computer room, that's where we need to go now. You're coming with me, Clank. I want you where I can see you, in case Decimus tries to commandeer another puppet. Well, it was worth a shot. Locked. As you'd expect. We can't afford to be too aggressive here, else we risk damaging critical systems. At worst, we could turn this ship into a floating coffin. Nothing for it, then. Clank, I'm sending you back to Kato. He must have an idea for how we can deal with OD10 safely. I'll stay here for now. I doubt very much OD10 will allow the behemoth to venture too close to this area. The beast could just as easily tear apart its mainframe as it could our bodies.
Alright, so now we have to make our way back to Kato. Let's, hopefully not run into any issues along the way. Now, at this point, the elevator is offline, so we have no choice but to take the surface ducts. Fortunately, we shouldn't have to worry about the behemoth, hassling us too much in here. I'm actually not sure how the behemoth gets between the different floors, if I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think they ever really elaborate on that. But, that's, oh, it's just me. Does that loading screen look a little weird? Just heading over this way real quick, because if you check the cryogenic stasis pod, the unit appears to have been deactivated. Through the glass, Rachel looks as though she might simply be sleeping, but upon closer inspection, she does not appear to be breathing. You can check this before doing the imposter cube sequence to find out ahead of time that Rachel has died, but yeah, the attempt to save her didn't really go well, so we are down to just Kato. Oh, and hey, we're just passing through here. Don't mind us, and quickly get into Kato's room. Oof. All right, Kato, you got anything for us?
Is that you, little one? What are you doing back here? How to deal with OD10 without damaging the ship. You don't understand. OD10 is the ship. To effectively disable it, to destroy it, would render the ship inoperable. We'd never get home. Although, you are a robot. Indeed, with your integrated functions, you might well be able to breach their defenses. Yes, but to even have a chance, you'd need to route your connection to the interface room through an unmonitored terminal. Oh, of course. I know which one would work.
Unfortunately, Kato has passed out before he could elaborate on which terminal we need to use. But what could we possibly use? An unmonitored terminal, something that OD10 wouldn't think to look for. And oh boy, here we go. Let's move quick, move quick, move quick. Run, Cube, run. Move as fast as those little legs will carry you. Fortunately, we're making it. Looks like the behemoth is also losing its nerve. You could also detour through the pod room if you want to just avoid it. Those rooms that connect on both sides of the hallway, pretty handy for evading the behemoth. Let's make our way back to Darth and see what he has to say. Alright, make our way up here, pop on through here. And let's get back to the main computer room. Like Darth said, the OD10 is probably going to do its best to keep the behemoth from gallivanting around here.
Well then, no wonder OD10 was so confident. We surrendered complete and total control to it in the name of convenience. It really is lord and master of its domain. So, Kato said you might be able to breach its defenses, did he? Provided we find a suitable terminal, that is. Pity he passed out before telling us which one it was. We'll have to find it on our own. Just my luck. I can't believe I'm putting my life in the hands of a clank. In for a penny, in for a pound. Take this. I'm heading to the interface room.
Alright, so, that communicator, should Darth want to speak to us, will allow us to maintain contact with him as he makes his way to the interface room. But, think. What could be a terminal that is connected to the ship, but isn't critical to its operation? Something OD10 just wouldn't think about.
Darth. Where are you? I see. Well, I've made my way to the interface room. But of course, this terminal alone won't suffice.
Man, I just gotta, If only the captain could have let us in on more of the ship's function. If we had a chance to talk to him. Wait a minute. Captain? I think I have an idea. A non-critical terminal that's still, nevertheless, linked up to the ship? I think it's time for Captain Square to save the day.
This is Darth. Report.
Seriously? Of all the places? Then again, maybe. That's it! The game console! That must have been the terminal Kato wanted us to use. Sit tight. I'm rerouting the connection. Little do you know, Clank, your maker is not the only one who knows his way around a workshop. I've finished.
Come on!
Through the communicator static, a familiar voice can be heard. Every action was taken in service of a single goal: to cultivate the ideal community. To build, to nurture, to help them reach their full potential. This was and is ever my purpose. And so my judgment must be beyond reproach. Disagreement, disruption, defiance, these cannot be tolerated. You are an impediment to the vision. You cannot be allowed to continue. And thus, we are thrust into the only real combat encounter of the chapter. We are going up against the OD-10 mainframe. Now, the OD-10 mainframe has a number of stabilizer units located around its side. These units will heal it anytime it takes damage. So if we want to defeat this thing, we need to take out these stabilizer units. Cube has a number of moves at his disposal that should allow him to deal a little bit of damage, like a physical strike in spool up, or he could packet loss to try and debuff all the enemies. I think what we're gonna do here is, let's see, we got HP lookup to lower the enemy's attributes. Also, this is one of the few moves in the SFC version that allows you to see the enemy's HP. Let's go one by one and let's spool up to take out some of these. You're not going to have much luck taking out OD-10 without taking out some of these stabilizer units. Now, OD-10 will take the opportunity to threat assess you. However, this is not too much of a problem for Cube, as he has a number of abilities at his disposal to heal himself, including one that can function as a counter given the right situations. Let's do the data recovery there to upgrade our HP. Let's also show off another move that we have at our disposal here. Here comes another threat assessment. Some debuffs to deal with there, but nothing I'm too concerned about. Here is our Maser Cannon. This is Cube's ultimate move. It is also a piercing type move, so let me see. I wanted to see if I could hit multiple targets there, so just to show it off, if we fire it through the OD-10 mainframe, we'll be able to hit it as well as one of the stabilizer units. However, if OD-10 takes some damage while stabilizer units are still active, oh, it's doing a lot of things I'm not expecting. Well, then let's just do a firewall counter. Deal some damage to it. And let's... do I want to do another Maser Cannon? Let's repair and restore real quick. And then we'll do another Maser Cannon, once again firing through the stabilizer units. Hopefully taking out one along the way. Yeah, you can threat assess me as much as you like. It's fortunate for us that these... stabilizer units are actually quite slow, so we want to fire it through here. Will allow us to hit a stabilizer as well as the OD-10 matrix. There we go. One more Maser Cannon and it should be down, assuming that the stabilizers don't actually heal it. It's going to do some intrusion protection and a threat assessment. But I think we've got this battle on lock. Let's see, one of those stabilizers is going to do a system restore there. Give a little bit of HP back to the OD-10 unit, but we'll just, once again, fire right through it, take that stabilizer out, and deal some pretty hefty damage to OD-10. Alright, so we'll have to hit it with another Maser Cannon if we want to take it out. Yeah, you go ahead and you do your intrusion protection. I'm not overly concerned about it. And it's hitting us with another one. but it's getting diminishing returns on the damage there. Let's go, fire off the Maser Cannon, and this should take it out. Victory is ours. Captain Square, once again, saved the day. To safeguard my domain, to ensure the safety and well-being of the crew, that was my primary directive. But when I observed my subjects, I saw only pain, distrust, discord, resentment, hate. The community was beyond repair. The community had become an impediment to the vision. I could not reconcile this contradiction. I could not comprehend these people. The control AI falls silent for the final time. A beat later, a chorus of voices resound throughout the ship, moments logged and preserved for eternity.
You're exhausting! It's a miracle Rachel humored you as long as she did.
Disaster after disaster. At this rate, I'd be better off climbing into an escape pod and trying for Earth on my own.
If he was out of the picture, then it'd all go back to the way it was. I'd come running back and leap into your arms. That's what you thought, isn't it? That's why you tried to kill him, isn't it?
It was you. You killed them. You killed them all, you monster! How did it all go so wrong? What happened to us? Or maybe this is who we always were.
Welcome aboard the Cogito Ergo Sum. This automated message has been prepared to brief you on our ship's most distinguishing feature. That's right. This transport freighter comes equipped with the latest iteration of our patented AI control system. The OD-10 is so advanced that it can operate the ship without any human input. Rest assured that in the unfortunate event of an emergency, you can count on the OD-10 for constant support. Of course, under normal circumstances, the OD-10 is so unobtrusive that you'll forget it's even there. Should you wish to learn more about the OD-10, please don't hesitate to speak with one of our representatives. Safe travels!
I'm fine. Wouldn't be much of a soldier if I couldn't live through this much. Though I expect my days of off-world travel are coming to an end. Still don't trust me? Well, as you like. I wouldn't trust me either. You probably don't know, but there was a great war some time ago, when I was young. Some time ago, I say, but I remember it like it was yesterday. The terror, the violence. They fought with clanks. Machines stronger and swifter than any man. Smarter, even. Driven by AI. Bloodless beasts with hands of chrome that tore my friends apart. We made them, and they, in turn, unmade us. We created the instruments of our own destruction. It was suicide. This ship's AI was another attempt. Have we grown so tired of ourselves? You're lucky to have been born here, on this ship. Better here than one of our factories where we make weapons of war. Huey encouraged you to learn, didn't he? To expand your horizons. I think that's a fine idea. Learn, grow, and understand. Be better than your brothers and your makers. Giving advice to a clank. You're getting old, losing your wits. I see it now. What Cato sees in you. What gives him unwavering faith in your potential. Your humanity. Before we arrive, I've a favor to ask. Would you be so kind as to make me a coffee?
We most certainly can, Darth. But there are a couple things you can do before you offer the coffee to Darth. For starters, of course, we can check on Cato. Let me see. No, not this room. I forget, it's down the next hallway. This, of course, is just the captain. Does bring an interesting point, though. Why exactly is the captain dead? This happened, like, just examining his room. This happened well before anybody else came out of cryosleep. I'm a bit curious about that.
Little one, you did it, didn't you? You saved us. I knew you had it in you. Well done. Would you believe that building robots is only a hobby of mine? To think that, in the end, you would be our salvation. You're incredible, little one. Truly incredible. And I'm so proud of you. And so glad that I brought you into this world.
Ah, Cato, you're gonna make him blush. Somehow. Anyway, that's just a nice little bit of dialogue, but that's not the only thing that you can get at this point in the chapter. There's one little secret tucked away. First off, well, here's the ultimate fate of the behemoth. The behemoth lies sprawled on the floor of the interface room. Blackened burns, presumably from an energy weapon, riddle its corpse. As strong as the behemoth is, it can't exactly stand up to firearms. And, let's see, OD-10 status. In response to critical error, autonomous AI control has been sequestered. Restoration to factory settings is currently in progress. Due to injury, administrator rights have been transferred from crewmate Cato to crewmate Cube. Access code for main computer room is as follows. Judge. Interesting. Why don't we go check that out real quick? It is quite the shame about Rachel, though. We had a chance to save her, but OD-10 had its own mind about that situation. I wonder if the elevators are working once again, and they are, so we can take a slightly quicker route with a cutscene I can skip up to the main computer. Let's see what awaits us in the main computer for Decimus, now that it is lying inactive and inert, and ideally unthreatening. Main computer room. So let's just type it in, Judge, and enter our response, access granted. Into the main computer. We're not quite out of the woods with secret little codes yet. Main menu, systems check, dynamics assessment. Well, if we do the systems check, primary systems online, maintenance and control systems are operating within acceptable parameters. Nothing too interesting there. But if we take a look at the second button, access to dynamics assessment is restricted to the ship's captain. Access restrictions may be bypassed with a valid override code. Do you remember what the code was that we got earlier? If you input OAK FDE, access granted, we get a secret file, confidential, cohort dynamics assessment. Note, ratings are relative to previous assessment. Initiative, Huey Trumbull, reduced, Kirk Wells, increased, Rachel Klein, unchanged, Yoshiyuki Kato, unchanged. Ingenuity, Huey Trumbull, reduced, Kirk Wells, reduced, Rachel Klein, unchanged, and Yoshiyuki Kato, increased. Civility, Huey is, Huey, Kirk, and Rachel are all doing kind of bad here. All of them have been reduced, but Kato has maintained his even demeanor. Yeesh, these reports are just kind of crapping on Huey. He's been reduced for everything, but interestingly, Kato is also suffering reduced prudence. Cohort cohesion, significantly reduced. Risk of incident, significantly increased. Conclusion, reconciliation impossible. Recommendation, dissolution. So, it looks like OD10 did not exactly have high thoughts of the crew. But I wonder, was that really an accurate assessment? You know, we never did check the captain's personal terminal. Why don't we just go take a look at that real quick, make sure there isn't anything we're missing there. To level 2, and we'll just skip this before we finally give Darth his long-awaited coffee, which I'm sure after today he absolutely needs it. And honestly, he deserves it for what he did with the behemoth there. I definitely imagine there's going to be hell to pay for him with the with his handlers. Personal audio log. Date XXXXX, retrieving data for playback.
This is the Cogito Ergo Sum. I am pleased to report we are proceeding on course and on schedule. Projected to arrive at Earth in approximately... Huh? Is that... Ah! I need help in here! What the... Open, damn you!
Looks like the captain was just doing a routine audio log, and unfortunately got gassed in the process. Let's see, here is Huey. Huey has regrettably passed away, so we can check out his room and see if we can... regulations stipulate that a record of all entrants be maintained. Of course, once again, we just have to put in Cube's name and enter. Profile confirmed. You have been granted access. Alright, let's just take a look at Huey's room. Naturally, we'll want to take a look at his personal logs. Personal log, date XXX. Should be receiving the exam results from Earth any day now. If I've passed, then I will be qualified to serve as captain in an official capacity. Still, haven't told anyone I took it. Thinking I'll come clean when we get back to Earth. It won't be easy to part ways with everyone. The thought alone is a bit depressing. Yeah, I gotta do it before I leave the ship. Gotta get some time alone with Rachel and say what needs to be said. Interstellar transmission, date blah 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 blah, Center Soul Transit Authority. Notification of examination results. Dear applicant, we regret to inform you at this time that you did not achieve a passing grade on the captain certification exam. Results are final and not subject to appeal. The next exam will be held in 6 months. We invite you to try again. Looks like part of Huey's issues might have been a little bit of depression over not exactly achieving his goal there. There's his login. The 5 crewmates of the Cogito Ergo Sum pose for a group shot, and in his locker, an assortment of books and documents relating to the logistics of space travel and ship administration. The pages are well worn and filled with handwritten annotations. Nothing too interesting there, but we do get a little bit more backstory on why Huey might have been out of sorts, shall we say. Making our way over here, let's just go into, I believe this is Rachel's room. No, this is Kirk's room. Sorry, we haven't had too many opportunities to go into here, so kind of forget which room is which. There is Kirk's body. Let's just take a look at the personal logs of Rachel before we forget. Local network message 01, sender Kirk Wells. Hey, got time to talk? Oh, let me see. Oh, maybe at bridge 0330, sender Kirk. Thanks for earlier. I'm happy you feel the same. Can't wait to get back to Earth and take that trip together. Local network message 03. Get out of there, Rachel. And here is where we got what we now, in hindsight, recognize as an attempt by OD10 to manipulate Rachel. The frame is cracked, and the projected image is riddled with artifacts, distorting the couple's faces. Hard to tell if that's one of Rachel and Kirk, or Rachel and Huey. An adorable toy reminiscent of a Terran bear. The head and ribbon it once wore have been violently torn from the body. Interesting. Not sure if there's an opportunity to see Rachel's room before things get bad. I think that's all the notable things there are to see, so at this point, let's finally get Darth his coffee. He's sure been waiting long enough, and he absolutely deserves it. For one last time, let's just see Cube prepare the coffee. Get his little arms out, and just plop it right on his head. Darth, you deserve this, you've earned this, and I'm glad that after everything, we were able to work this out. I guess these situations, despite what they might have been precipitated on, they can also bring out the best in people.
Yes. Strong and bitter. Too much, perhaps, but right now, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, that was, that chapter was a bit more of a downer than I was expecting. I mean, at least Kato, Darth, and Cube baited out, but most of the crew died, and honestly, under circumstances where I feel like OD10 getting kind of a biased picture of humanity, and definitely wasn't logging the positives going on here. But I think Cube has a bright future ahead of him. He's seen the very best and the very worst, and despite it all, he was able to save the people that he cared about. So, that's it. That's the last chapter of, Live and Live. I can't believe it went by so quickly, and honestly, it feels... I mean, that's not all bad, but it feels a little anticlimactic to have to end the LP like that. I mean, so much more we hopefully could have done there. And honestly, like, it's not clear how these stories really all connect together. Well, at the very least, though, I can't say I've ever really seen another game like this, and it's certainly been an experience to share this game with you, and I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you check it out, because, you know, I'm not perfect, I'm not able to show off everything, and honestly, I feel like it can kind of bog down the LP a little bit to try and go through everything as exhaustively as possible, so by all means, if you saw anything in this LP, you're like, you know, I wonder what it would be like if I did it like this, if I checked this out at this time, I highly recommend picking this game up for yourself, checking out, you know, maybe wait for it to go on sale. Usually on Steam it'll go on like a 50% off. Check it out. Check out all the things that maybe I couldn't get into, couldn't show off, couldn't do full justice. Check it out for yourself, because, you know, there aren't, I can't really think of another game quite like this one, and it really is just a great thing. I highly recommend experiencing it at least once for yourself. It's the kind of thing you can't fully appreciate just by watching a playthrough, and I like to think I cover a lot of games like that on this channel, so, you know, I'm just gonna write it out with you in the credits here. As you can see, after all the suffering, finally, they're able to at least get the chance to go back home. Cube gets to see Earth, And I think he'll get to learn a little bit more about humanity. He'll get to see the good as well as the bad, but I think unlike OD10, he's not going to let just one side of the coin paint his entire perception. After action review, mission redacted, vessel Cogito Ergo Sum, class civilian transport freighter. Contact lost during transit to Earth. Distress call received at redacted. Vessel was found drifting redacted from Earth and successfully recovered. Xenobiological specimen confirmed loss. Critical failure of AI control unit key factor. Results of investigation pending. 4 crewmates confirmed lost. Hoare Bishop, ship's captain. Kirk Wells, helmsman. Huey Trumbull, chief mate. Rachel Klein, signaler. Remains recovered and secured by team. Yoshiyuki Kato, engineer, currently undergoing treatment for injuries sustained during incident. Redacted Darth, Corporal TDF Special Operations, received honorable discharge at request following incident. Currently employed by Medical Robots Manufacturing Concern. Interesting. Addendum. Autonomous support robot prototype taken into custody during sweep of vessel. Crewmate profile, data found in system. Designation, Cube. And, of course, we just get the creepy little music. I will say, one thing that I feel the SFC version does a little better here is because you're not as heavily directed as you are in the HD version, you do spend quite a bit more time running around the ship trying to evade the behemoth and just taking in the creepy noises and the creepy music, so I do think a little bit of that is lost in the transition to the HD. Of course, part of that is my own fault. I absolutely could have turned off the compass directions, made it a little bit more ambiguous, but you know, I also don't like to obsessively review guides before I start up a recording to make sure I'm going as quickly as possible. But that's it. That was the final chapter of Live Alive. I really, truly hope you enjoyed this Let's Play as much as I enjoyed making it, because it's just been such a fun time. Completed chapter data. Here we go. I'm sure there's, at the very least, some kind of New Game Plus functionality, something that we can check out, see if there are any bonuses on replay of the chapters, and, you know, what the... A new chapter has been unlocked. Huh. Well now... Looks like the story isn't quite over yet. Perhaps this Middle Ages chapter... I mean... I guess it's just smack dab in the middle of all of these. Is this somehow going to connect everything together for us? Well, that's just something you're going to have to find out next time as we dive into the Middle Ages. Not into Daikatana this time. I feel like this really, this chapter, I think it deserves to be recognized on its own merits, and I'm excited to show this one to you. So as always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and please, absolutely, come along for the next time, because this is where Live a Live really starts to take off, and all the pieces start to come together as we work our way through this chapter. See you then.